And good morning, high school football fans. Welcome to the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com. It's all fueled by End Market here on the Roundup. PJ Zucco here with you as we take a look at last night's high school football playoff games in the GHSA and SCISA and the South Carolina Public Schools as well. Here on the High School Sports Roundup. Of course, look forward to some matchups later today as well, as not all the classifications able to get into action last night. The GHSA not having enough referees there. Of course, they have only a certain amount of referees that make it to the playoffs as well with their own grading system and everything like that. Not able to have enough referees this year to field all of them and have every single game be played last night. So looking forward to the 6A classification games and the 1A classification games being played later today. And of course, that affecting a number of schools in our coverage area that will be in action later today here in the high school football playoffs. But still had a number of teams there last night underway and starting their playoff runs, and a few teams not able to get the victory there last night, but at the same time, several teams and some teams from the Savannah Hilton Head area able to move on and get some big wins there last night as well. So let's take a look at all of them here from around the area with all these big matchups and big wins, and of course, all these huge games in the high school football playoffs. Starting all the way down the coast, there in 7A, you have Camden County. They fall to North Cobb there last night, 44-6. It was Ware County defeating Banneker 42-28. Warner Robins got the win there in 5A, also over Jonesboro 64-20. In that same region, with Ware County, you had Coffee falling to Creekside 28-18, and Veterans falling to Woodward Academy 48-14. In 4A, here in the Savannah Hilton Head area, you had Benedictine getting a huge win over Thomas County Central. You heard that one right here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head for ESPN's high school football coverage of Benedictine Cadets football presented by Savannah Toyota. And the Cadets rolled up, got the victory over Thomas County Central 59-0. Just having an explosive night there offensively. Of course, defensively, able to hold Thomas County Central down all night and hold them scoreless there as well, which you're always proud of, certainly as a defense. Justin Thomas with another huge night for the Benedictine Cadets with some rushing touchdowns, of course, there on the ground. And that's something that pretty much everyone around the area very much used to. Justin Thomas having a huge night there for the Cadets. Also in 4A, though, is a tough night around Savannah Hilton Head, and Jenkins in the Pooler Stadium there with a home game against Daughtery, and they fall in that one 44-17. Just a tough night as Daughtery was able to get out, have a huge first half there and score 34 there in the first half, and Jenkins just not able to claw their way back into it. Either way, solid season for the Jenkins Warriors coming to an end there against Daughtery. New Hampstead battled and fought all they could there against Cairo and the Syrup Makers. They fall short, though, 33-31 there last night, and just a back-and-forth ball game all night. New Hampstead was right there throughout the whole evening, and knew, I mean, that's a tough 3 seed with all the firepower New Hampstead has there on offense. A solid defense, of course, there for the Phoenix as well all year, but still just come up just short there against Cairo. With the 33-31 loss for the Phoenix. Bainbridge getting the win over Islands. A tough one last night for the Island Sharks as Bainbridge wins that one 42-0. Of course, Bainbridge, a solid football program, solid football team this year, and Islands not able to get anything going offensively there and certainly affected their night. So the Island Sharks season comes to an end there last night as well. So out of the 4A classification, Benedictine get the big win and move forward and advance here. We'll take a look at schedules and seating and everything like that for next week in just a few minutes. So certainly sit tight for that. But in the 3A classification, tough night as well. for the Savannah Hilton Head area, as Liberty County, they do get the win over Brantley County. Hard fought ball game though. Liberty County wins that one 30-28. Brantley County drove down over 90 plus yards there in the final minute of the ball game, scored as time expired, but Liberty County holds strong there defensively with turning the Herons away there with the 2-point conversion, and Liberty County winning that one 30-28. Southeast Bullock got the victory over Long County 42-16 there at home. But as for the road teams, Windsor Forest not able to get it done. Pierce County gets the win there, the defending state champions of 56-19, and Appling County gets the win over Johnson 42-8 there last night. So tough ones there for Johnson and Windsor Forest. Johnson not able to get out there offensively and get anything going there against that strong Appling County defense. And obviously Pierce County holding the Windsor Forest down there throughout the night, as well as two very strong teams there and some tough matchups there with the 1-2 seeds with Pierce County and Appling County, just with how strong they've been. But Johnson, Windsor Forest, solid seasons come to an end there against Pierce County and Appling County. Also there last night in the 2A classification, you have Swainsboro over Laney 48-0, and Jeff Davis defeating Jefferson County 40-0. Westside Augusta got the victory over Vidalia 23-21 there as well. In South Carolina, you have Whale Branch getting the win over Lakeview 27-12, and Beaufort defeating North Augusta 42-10. Also there in Skeesa, you have Thomas Hayward over Thomas Sumter 49-6. Hilton Head Christian Academy keeps on winning. They defeat PD Academy 52-23 there last night for Hilton Head Christian. Beaufort Academy falls to Williamsburg Academy 28-7. So some big matchups there last night, obviously. And again, with the 6A and single A classifications not playing there last night, have some huge games to look forward to later today. And the Savannah Hilton Head area and really all down the coast has been affected in a pretty big way. A lot of these teams around our coverage area not playing last night and taking on their opponents here on Saturday. So starting at the top classifications there in 6A, you have Tucker at Brunswick High, Glen Academy at Langston Hughes there later today. You also have Lovejoy taking on Richmond Hill at 1 o'clock there at Richmond Hill, and Effingham at Westlake at 4 o'clock. So Lovejoy at Richmond Hill at 1, Effingham at Westlake there at 4. And down in the single A classification for our area, let's start with single A private. You have Stratford Academy at Savannah Country Day. That one going to be at 6. Savannah Christian at Tatnall Academy at 7 o'clock, and Mount DeSales at Calvary Day there at 1 p.m. For the Cavaliers, trying to transition, right? You have that transition from having a fantastic regular season, undefeated all throughout the year, special season winning the region championship, and now everyone's 0-0. You transition from that celebration to getting back to it, and now if you slip up, that's it. It's done. It's over, right? So got to make that transition, and we'll see. Calvary Day starts their March, and we'll see how they fare in the playoffs here with Mount DeSales coming up later today there at 1 o'clock. In single A public, you have McIntosh County Academy at Mitchell County, Screven County at Pelham. You also have Seminole County at Metter later today, and Charlton County at Wilcox County there, and single A public for your games later today. So certainly looking forward to those matchups without a doubt. Also want to thank obviously the media outlets all around the area doing great jobs, and certainly appreciate WJCL for all they do and having those times listed on that schedule. So looking forward to seeing those matchups later today. And if you need to go out and support these high school football teams for sure. Pack the stands as they're taking on some big opponents and some good high school football games there in the playoffs in the first round. Some really solid matchups in the first round, if you ask me. So go out, fill those bleachers, fill those stands, and support these high school football teams on a Saturday afternoon as certainly looking forward to a lot of these huge matchups. But looking into those wins from last night, of course, you have Benedictine getting the victory there over Thomas County Central. With that win, they will host Luella. They're coming up next week. Luella getting the 22-13 victory over Heritage last night. And the 2 seed will travel to Memorial Stadium to take on the Benedictine Cadets. They're coming up next week. So certainly looking forward to that. For Liberty County, they will be hosting Carver out of Atlanta. They're coming up next week. And Southeast Bullock will be traveling to Cedar Grove. They're in the 3A classification. So, man, that's a tough matchup for sure. Cedar Grove, we know how strong they are just from past games, and that a very strong program. Not only that, they get the win there last night over White County, 79-0. So Cedar Grove rolling once again, and they'll look forward to a big matchup with Southeast Bullock coming up next week. But as for the wins for the Coastal Georgia teams that were able to beat Windsor Forest and Johnson, you have Appling County traveling to Cherokee Bluff next week, and Pierce County advancing and hosting Dawson County next week out of 3A as well. For 5A and the wins there, Ware County advancing, and they will host Calhoun next week. What a matchup that's going to be in the second round. Ware County, Calhoun, and the winner of that one gets the winner of Clark Central and Stars Mill. So that bracket down in the lower right quadrant in 5A, not for the faint of heart by any means. That a tough matchup, and we'll certainly be entertained from that one for Ware County and Calhoun. Then again, doesn't get much easier for Warner Robins, right? They defeat Jonesboro last night. Now they take on Cartersville and travel to Cartersville, as Cartersville was able to get the win there over Lithonia, 51-0. So Warner Robins, Cartersville there next week. That could be an absolute score fest with 64 points out of Warner Robins in the first round and 51 points out of Cartersville there in the first round for sure. So looking forward to next week for those teams and those big games. But again, packed schedule for you as the day goes on today. As again, in single A private, you have Stratford Academy at Savannah Country Day at 6, Savannah Christian at Tatnall Square there at 7, Mount DeSales at Calvary Day at 1 o'clock. And then also you have a Seminole County at Metter, McIntosh County Academy at Mitchell County, Charlton County at Wilcox County. And in 6A, you have Tucker at Brunswick High, Glen Academy at Langston Hughes, Effingham at Westlake there at 4 o'clock. And also Lovejoy at Richmond Hill. That one at 1 o'clock. And again, get out, support those Richmond Hill Wildcats if they've had a solid season there, especially in region play. Got that 2 seed with how things shook out there with Effingham and Statesboro and Glen Academy over the past couple weeks. And Richmond Hill, interestingly enough, on the bye week there last night as everything got sorted out. Of course, Effingham fell to Brunswick. That made it so the Wildcats got the 2 seed, moved up, got the 2 seed, and have this home game later today against Lovejoy, and was able to chat with Matt Lazad earlier in the week, talk with him about that bye week, kind of scoreboard watching throughout the week and figuring out what was going to happen. And then, of course, preparing for Lovejoy throughout the week and playing on Saturday as well. But had a chance to catch up with him about that. We'll hear that when we come back here on the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com. Stay tuned. And welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com, all fueled by End Market. PJ Zucco here with you as we take a look back on these games that have been played so far and look forward to some of the matchups later today as well in the Savannah Hilton Head area and all around Skeesa and South Carolina there as well. But looking at last night's games, you have Camden County falling to North Cobb 44-6, Ware County over Banneker 42-28, and Warner Robins defeating Jonesboro 64-20. Coffee falling to Creekside 28-18, and Veterans falling to Woodward Academy there 48-14 in that one. Also in 4A, you have Benedictine defeating Thomas County Central 59-0. Bainbridge over Islands 42-0. Cairo defeating New Hampstead 33-31. Daughtery over Jenkins 44-17. In 3A, Appling County getting the victory over Johnson 42-8. Pierce County defeating Windsor Forest 56-19. Brantley County falling just short there at Liberty County. Liberty County getting the win 30-28. Southeast Bullock gets the victory over Long County 42-16. Also last night, you have Westside Augusta defeating Vidalia 23-21, and Swainsboro getting the win over Laney 48-6. In South Carolina, you have Whale Branch defeating Lakeview 27-12. North Augusta falling to Beaufort 42-10. Thomas Hayward getting the win over Thomas Sumter 49-6, and Hilton Head Christian Academy defeating PD Academy 52-23. Again, several matchups later today, and one of those in 6A, Richmond Hill hosting Lovejoy at 1 o'clock. So a few hours away from kickoff there at Richmond Hill. Gives you plenty of time to go out if you're a Wildcat fan and find yourself a seat, fill up the stands, and support the Richmond Hill Wildcats. But earlier this week, I had a chance to chat with Matt Lazad, head coach of the Richmond Hill Wildcats. Talk with him about, of course, getting set for Lovejoy and the talent that they bring, the team that they bring here to Richmond Hill. But also last week, the process of going through a bye week this late in the season, kind of scoreboard watching to make sure you get the 2 seed, right? But also channeling that energy moving forward, being ready for Lovejoy on a Saturday game there at 1 o'clock. So talked with him about all that earlier this week. Matt Lazad, head coach of the Richmond Hill Wildcats, with us here on the High School Sports Roundup. Matt Lazad, head coach of the Richmond Hill Wildcats, and I got to chat with him earlier this week there on High School First Look, fueled by End Market, and you'll be able to hear that throughout the rest of the postseason as far as these teams go here in the Savannah and Hilton Head area. But Richmond Hill, once again, about 2.5 hours away from kickoff there with Lovejoy at Richmond Hill. So Wildcats fans, get on out there and make sure to get yourself a spot there in the stands. Pack the stands there for any home games we have later today. Is a single A classification, 6A classification, both still playing games here in the first round of the high school football playoffs. In the GHSA, of course, you have Brunswick High hosting Tucker Glen Academy at Langston Hughes, McIntosh County Academy at Mitchell County, and then in single A private, you have Stratford Academy at Savannah Country Day at 6 o'clock there at Saunders Field. So get out for that one. Calvary Day hosting Mount DeSales at 1 o'clock there at the Specialty Sports Complex. 10-0 there on the regular season and looking to translate that into some big postseason wins for the Cavaliers. Savannah Christian on the road at Tatnall Square Academy there at 7 o'clock. So the late 7 o'clock kickoff there on a Saturday for all the rest of these games starting in the afternoon. Some at 4 there with Effingham County. You have Savannah Country Day at 6 and Savannah Christian at 7. So be sure to go out and support these high school football teams all across the Savannah Hilton Head area later today with, once again, Richmond Hill kicking off against Lovejoy at 1 o'clock. But we'll come back, keep looking at these big games from last night in the Savannah Hilton Head area, and, of course, looking forward to these matchups as well here on the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com, all fueled by End Market. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Savannah, Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com. PJ Zucco here with you as we take a look at all the big games from last night in the GHSA playoffs. And, of course, look forward to some big games later today as well. In 3A last night, it was Appling over Johnson, 42-8. Pierce County over Windsor Forest, 56-19. And Liberty County getting the win over Brantley, 30-28. In 4A, Thomas County Central fell to Benedictine 59-0. Bainbridge defeats Islands 42-0. And Daughtery over Jenkins there 44-17. Cairo getting the victory over New Hampstead 33-31 last night in a battle there in Cairo. And joining us now, the head coach of the New Hampstead Phoenix here with us, Kyle Hockman, joins us here on the High School Sports Roundup. Following a tough one there in the first round of Cairo, 33-31. But, Coach, great to hear from you this morning. How you doing this morning?
A little tired, a little voice, a little scratchy, a lot of yelling last night. But, sun came up and we're all right.
Yeah, Coach, certainly understandable there, as you mentioned, the trip there as well. And, Coach, obviously a tough one there last night. You fall 33-31 and an absolute battle. I know, kind of back and forth all night. Leads exchanging, Cairo able to get up by a couple possessions, but New Hampstead, you guys able to battle right back to it there right until the end.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our guys for how hard they competed and in a really, really good environment. Small town Southern football. It was, a lot of people there, and their 100th year of football, and we're on number 9, I guess it is. So it was a great experience for our guys, and they're a good football team. I got some guys that'll hit you, and and the quarterback, he was banged up and he gutted it out, but But it's just back and forth all night. I think we did a good job offensively of really keeping them off balance, because their defense is really good. They hadn't given up, more than 24 one game, I think, and one of the top defenses in the state. But our offense did a really good job of just mixing things up and a couple big plays, and we also left a couple on the table, dropped a couple balls that could have changed some things. But, and then defensively, we were struggling a little bit early, and they got a really good running back. He's breaking a lot of tackles and getting out in space. And we made some really good adjustments at halftime and started moving around a little bit and bringing more pressure and got ourselves back in the game after we were down 2 scores. But, again, I'm really proud of our guys. They just kept fighting, kept battling. And, I think kind of learned a lot about themselves going up against, again, one of the better defenses and one of the better physical teams in the state.
Yeah, Coach, absolutely. Like you said, one of the more physical teams, better defenses in the state as well, and offensively able to put together a really solid performance there and score 31 there against Cairo. And at the end of the day, not able to be enough, but still really strong showing on the road too. Like you said, really good environment, and just kind of battled through it all night. And Coach, talk about these seniors. I know a lot of them there on the team and playing their last game there for the Phoenix. Definitely have some talent to look forward to in 2022 as well. But these seniors have obviously been a part of a lot there for New Hampstead and have been a big part of the program and put on quite the show there last night in their last performance.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that last night after the game, and they really, set a legacy of of how we're going to do things at New Hampstead, and the effort that they've put in, and the amount of time, and we kind of went through the whole few years that I've been here, and how much they've worked, and just the attitude that they have, and you got guys, Jamel Coast been a big part of a lot of what we're doing, and Rodney Wade and Cameron Bing, offensive lineman, and Julius Linton, offensive lineman, those guys, Tyler Cooper, defensive back, and several other guys. I mean, just, I think 20, 21 guys that just really have been there the whole time and really, really sacrificed and played their hearts out. They really, several of them, we had a couple guys go down and Julius Linton played both ways most of the night, and he's got a bad hip flexor, and he's limping, and just come on out, let's rest you. No, I'm good, coach, I'm good, and went back in there and just battling, and just really proud of them how they went about their business, and again, I told them they're going to be on the wall somewhere somehow, and put up there as a championship group, regardless of the actual awards, but they kind of taught a lot of young guys how to do it, and I think it's going to propel our program forward. Their class propel our program to get to where we want to go, and we're not there yet, but the way they went about their business has really showed the younger guys what to do and how to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach, and them obviously being a huge part of that. And New Hampstead, I mean, not far removed from New Hampstead starting the football program as well, and those seniors doing a lot to carry on the legacy and carry on the program, build it to kind of where it's at for sure. So certainly looking forward to seeing what they do next as well. But Coach, looking forward to it. I know 2022 going to be right around the corner. Blink of an eye, going to be there already, and I know some young talent. I know a ton of those seniors playing so well, but a lot of young talent on this team as well to look forward to in future years and throughout develop through the offseason.
Yeah, no question. Paulie Sealy, quarterback, had a real good night last night, and running back Samari Dowdy and receiver Zion Griffin all played really well last night. And then we had a couple of young sophomores playing offensive line, and they did a great job. Zach Pearson and Alex Coles. And then, defensively, we have several young guys that played a lot and started and moved all over. Isaiah Scott, defensive lineman, and several other guys, Jordan Sonneman, and a lot of young guys that are playing and, not necessarily starting or what have you, but really contributing and growing and getting in that, again, in a great environment last night, and kind of see, okay, this is what, this is where we want to be, and this is what we want to play in these big games, and we want to host them, though. We want them to be at our place.
Right.
We'll keep battling, and we'll have a great off season. They'll work their tail off, and we'll get started pretty quick on an off season program, and this day and age, everything's year round, and we're lifting and running and speed work and all that stuff right away. So we'll give them a couple days off and get back at it. So we definitely are excited. We got a really good young freshman class. I'm excited about that and how they develop, and so it's an ongoing, everyday process, and we just keep going every day and work and be ready to roll.
Yeah, absolutely, and like we said, we're right around the corner for sure. And every day, like you said, with sports and everything, a kind of a full year process here, a full year type thing. So looking forward to seeing what developments are able to happen, and what happens in the offseason here for the New Hampstead Phoenix. Looking forward to a big 2022, no doubt, but a huge 2021 for the Phoenix as well. Comes to an end there against Cairo last night, 31-33, but a solid season without a doubt for the Phoenix, no matter what. Kyle Hockman, head coach of the New Hampstead Phoenix, has been our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach, great to have you on once again. Appreciate it. Battling through it there, I know, with the voice and whatnot, and with the bus trip as well, but appreciate it, Coach, and we'll certainly be talking again soon. Next season will be here before we know it.
PJ, really appreciate you guys. Do a great job covering this area, and really help promote the sport and in this area. Thank you.
Coach, I appreciate that so much. I appreciate it. And we'll certainly be talking again soon.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Kyle Hockman, head coach of the New Hampstead Phoenix, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. And again, blink of an eye, 2022 will be here before we know it. But from last night, once again, New Hampstead Phoenix and Kyle Hockman there fall to Cairo 33-31. Jenkins falling to Daughtery 44-17. Bainbridge over Islands 42-0. And Benedictine defeating Thomas County Central 59-0 last night there as well. In South Carolina, you had Wellbranch over Lakeview 27-12. Beaufort defeating North Augusta 42-10. Thomas Hayward over Thomas Sumter 49-6. And Hilton Head Christian Academy staying alive there with a huge win over PD Academy 52-23. Several games this evening and throughout the day as well. In 6A, you have Brunswick High hosting Tucker Glen Academy at Langston Hughes. McIntosh County Academy will be at Mitchell County there in Single A Public as well. But going back, I was reading from page that going back up to 6A, here you have Lovejoy at Richmond Hill at 1 o'clock, kickoff at 1 o'clock there. So just over 2 hours away from kickoff there. And Effingham at Westlake there in 6A, that kickoff at 4 p.m. Now in Single A Public, again, you have McIntosh County Academy at Mitchell County, Seminole County at Metter. Single A Private here in the Savannah Hilton Head area, you have Stratford Academy at Savannah Country Day at 6 o'clock, Savannah Christian at Tatnall Square Academy, that one at 7. And again, kickoff in just over 2 hours for Calvary Day hosting at Mount DeSales. There's the specialty sports complex there on the campus of Calvary Day, undefeated throughout the regular season. We're going to keep that streak alive, obviously, throughout the playoffs for the Calvary Day Cavaliers, starting today with Mount DeSales at 1 o'clock. But I'm PJ Zucco. This has been the High School Sports Roundup, fueled by End Market all across ESPN, Savannah Hilton Head, the ESPN app, and ESPNcoastal.com. Want to mention as well, High School First Look and the High School Sports Roundup going as far as these teams do in the playoffs. So, hey, as long as these teams are still alive and keep on winning throughout the postseason, we'll still be having shows and having some coaches on to talk about them, not only previewing, but also wrapping up the games there on Saturday. As moving forward, should have all these games on Friday moving forward. But I'm PJ Zucco, hoping you have a fantastic rest of your day. Go out and support these high school football teams. Stay safe. God bless.